This is part one of our 2026 Medicare Changes. We're going to hit the highlights in this video, knowing there's a lot more detail to really get into. But right now, we're going to give you the news, good, bad, ugly, for 2026 for Medicare, what to expect so you can budget correctly. Let's dive right into it. All right, we're starting to get preliminary information on 2026 Medicare changes. Unfortunately, it's not all great news. There's some costs that are going up, which we kind of expect because it's based on inflation and definitely health inflation or healthcare inflation. But we need to know what this information is so we can plan ahead for next year, so we can budget, right? So let's dive into the points we know. We'll have other videos coming up, so like and subscribe as we get more detail and specific detail that you can use. But for right now, we're going to hit the highlights. So here's what we're looking at for the big pieces that you're probably very familiar with. First of all, we're going to have the Part B premium, which is the amount you either had deducted from Social Security or you pay quarterly to Social Security with a check or invoice. That amount, the average is going to go up from $185 a month in 2025 to $206.50 in 2026. So that's kind of a big hit. It's 11.6%. Let's call it over 11%. That's going to increase your Part B premium that almost everyone has to pay. That's a lot of money. That's going to hit a lot of people at 11%. It's something we need to budget and plan ahead because it's across the board, and that's based on your income 2 years ago. So if your income has dropped a lot from 2 years ago, maybe submit an appeal to see if you can reduce that Part B premium, because we'll talk about the IRMA, which is another thing that's going up as well. But just know that Part B premium is going to go up from $185 to $206.50 starting in 2026. Then we have our Part B deductible. This really hits people who have core Medicare or who have a G plan or other Medicare supplements because they have to pay for the Part B deductible first. That's going up from $257 to $288 per year. So again, that Part B deductible for office visits, outpatients, labs, we're going to have to pay a little bit more before that then starts to get covered by your G plan if that's what you have. Again, for your plan, reach out to us. We can walk you through how the changes are going to impact your situation. Finally, the Part D drug cap, meaning your exposure if you have big expenses in a year, is going from $2,000 to $2,100. So you're going to have to pay a little bit more before you really get relief on the back end for big medication costs. Part D deductible, if you have a deductible, is going from $590 to $615. So this is jumping $25 a year, and that's usually for the higher tier drugs where you have that deductible built in. So cheaper generic drugs, you may not have the deductible anyway. It's going to be higher tier drugs where you're going to have to pay more out of pocket. Finally, a little bit of good news. Insulin is going to be capped at $35 now, and they're looking at zero copays for vaccines that have been approved by the Medicare board that looks at these things. So that's some good news. So right off the bat, we have some highlights for 2026 on what we can plan for in terms of costs. We need to know what's coming. And as we get more and more detail, and there's a lot more out there, we'll keep bringing it to you so you can use this information to plan accordingly, especially going into open enrollment when you're making other cost considerations and budgets for 2026. If you stuck around this long, thank you. We appreciate it. You probably have more questions. Reach out to us. There's zero cost for assistance. You can call, email, chat, or best yet, book a time and we can go through your personal situation to address any questions regarding California health insurance. Because a lot of sources out there are nationwide, and California is really unique. We need to go through the specifics of your situation in your area to find the best options. We don't push. We don't try to sell anything. We answer questions. And if you look at our Google reviews, you'll see that reflected in how we deal with this. We're happy to help. Reach out to us. And do us a big favor. If you could like and subscribe below, that's fantastic so we can keep bringing this information to California.